Oh, hello. Wow. What? Ah, the French. I didn't see you there, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsubet and Friends, where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
I don't know how I feel about this intro.
And two dear friends of ours, Tiago.
Noted for their excellence.
Noted for his same French excellence. And Rose.
Bonjour, everybody.
I'm sitting this fucking episode out.
I took high school French, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Ooh, a La
That's a threat. Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through this series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us today. We have all played through 3-3, Recipe for a Turnabout, the third case of Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. This one, we've said this probably a dozen times now, but in case this is your first time listening, this case is actually an excised case from Game 2. It was originally part of the planning doc for the second game in the series, but due to size constraints and all that good stuff, they had to remove it and push it back, and they saved it for Game 3 here. Now, granted, it underwent some tweaks in the meantime since then. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a case that, it's a weird one, I think. I don't know how everybody else felt about this one, but we start off by meeting Gumshoe. We're hanging out in our office with Maya. And Gumshoe comes in.
I don't want to interrupt, but there's actually something that happens right before that scene.
Okay. Would you like to describe it?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. Well, this is my first time stepping in, so now I feel like an asshole, but here I am.
Go.
So, like, first it starts off with the judge looking down and being like, this is by far the worst defense I've ever seen. And then we see, like, fucking Winston Payne being like, oh, now you have finally lost. And then the camera pans over, and then it's our boy Phoenix Wright, ? Sweating. And then we,
And then, the client is declared guilty, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes to black. That's the intro, yeah. And then, in January, a month later, we are sitting in Wright's office, and Gumshoe comes barging in the door, angry as all hell. Says, what's going on, Phoenix? Why'd you fuck up so badly? My good friend, Maggie Bird, is now in prison because of you. Why'd you fuck up the trial so badly? And you're like, what trial? I didn't take Maggie on as a client. What's going on here? And you seem to come to the understanding that there is a phony Phoenix Wright running around. So you're like, well, I guess I can help. And, we do the comedy bit of like, well, Phoenix, obviously you got her into this mess, so you better get her out. Which is a fun bit to railroad Phoenix into it when he's like, it's not me!
And then
actually, that was not a fun bit. I was very frustrated by that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, it's such a goof, but fuck you. That obviously wasn't Phoenix Wright, you dumb fuck.
I literally
It really wasn't.
The entire case is now going to be with like this little tint of everyone going, why'd you fuck up so bad, Phoenix? And Phoenix going every time, are you fucking kidding me? It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please recognize that.
Court literally grants him a mistrial on because they recognize that it was clearly not him.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is like, wow, it was definitely you. Like, no. Why do you think I'm here?
I think it's a bit that plays well in the first day, and then on the second day, I'm like, please, God, strike me down.
Right. So you get to go to the detention center and meet Maggie, and she goes, "Hey," and first she's upset at you, and then you ask her, did you actually get defended by me? She's like, well, now that I think about it, he did look kind of different from you. So you start investigating, obviously, because you're not going to let Maggie leave Maggie high and dry.
Yeah, Maggie's hot. We can't let her be arrested.
She's also she's wearing a waitress's outfit, this goofy bright orange maid
A
outfit
fucking
type looking
prison
thing.
of her own making.
And she's working at this restaurant, Très Bien, and it's this new hot French restaurant in the area. So you start investigating.
I don't think hot is the right word.
I mean, like hot as in like it's happening. But of course, yes, once we get there, we meet the owner's restaurant, Jean Armstrong.
Yeah.
We sure
Yep.
did.
Well, yep, we meet him, and then we also understand the facts of the case, which is the person who was murdered was Glenn Elg, a programmer who's got a Dragon Ball Scouter on, and he was poisoned, supposedly, by Maggie in his coffee and died right there at the restaurant. You begin doing your various investigations. You lose your Magatama briefly for a little bit on the first day here. You also go by the park, Vitamin Square, which is behind the restaurant, and find an old man who was one of the witnesses. This old man is quite the character.
Victor Kudo, who has, I think, one of my favorite themes of the game so far.
My
Like
my
that
favorite
theme song? Yeah.
character theme also appeared in this. I'm
Hmm.
switching it off of Pearls. I'm switching it to a new character.
Ooh.
Okay.
No
We'll see.
loyalty to Burl.
Oh no, I love her, but hold on though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll wait.
Let me get back to my summary here. Sorry, I clicked away from it. And so there's a CD here, which people make note of, called labeled MC Bomber. And we just you're gonna have just to file that away for later because that doesn't come up till the end of the case then. And
Compact disc.
yeah, and Phoenix also briefly meets his impersonator, who is a wild character called Furio Tigre, who looks like a Yakuza character with bright red skin and a bright red jacket with a tiger on it.
Yeah, he looks like an Oni. Like, fucking.
Yeah, and then he does have hair sort of similar to Phoenix's with the spiked slick back hair, but other than that, yeah, you have to look at him and go, how did anybody make this mistake?
So, like, what's Phoenix Wright's like his original name?
Ryuichi.
Yeah, Ryuichi Naruhodo.
So Ryuichi, that has the character, like, Ryu is dragon, right? Like, this is supposed to be the tiger to Phoenix Wright's dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he has the...
He had a dragon on his shirt too, yeah.
Yeah, tiger fighting a dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the guy, the new theme song for Rose, because holy shit,
Oh, yeah, he does go hard.
it's so funny. I was wild about it.
He also rides this beat up pink scooter around.
He stole that. He actively stole that.
He clearly got into an accident with it. So yeah, this one I think it gets a little messy because I was like working on the outline for this, and I was like, "Holy crap, this is a little much to keep straight here."
There's a lot of stuff, like a lot of moving parts in this.
Yeah.
But the general gist for day one is you're mostly going up against Victor Kudo in the courtroom and trying to prove that, he witnessed things incorrectly. That, because there was a whole bunch of contradictions that don't make sense with the evidence.
Discrediting his...
And so your main goal was discrediting him. And as you go up against Godo, there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of old man like insisting that no, I really did see what I saw, which we'll come back to that again later. But yeah, for this like first half, as we got into the case, then for general vibes, how did y'all feel about the start of this case? Do you want to start with you, Rose?
Okay. This case had a lot of vibes. Some of them were fun, some of them were not so fun. Um, I feel like I may as well just open our can of worms right off the bat. Last
If you'd like,
episode.
sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gay. And last episode we talked about some old early 2000s homophobia possibly appearing in this case. With poor Mr. Armstrong, Chef Armstrong, who is just really aggressively French and also like kind of gay.
Like,
I gotta say, I am of two minds. One, I thought it was gonna be so much worse. Holy shit. I looked at that character design and I thought, oh, this is gonna be so bad. And like, other than like a couple of goofs with like Maya and the judge, like calling him like, oh, are you a woman? Like a couple of times.
Right.
It wasn't. I guess I was braced for so much worse,
Right. And I couldn't remember how bad it got,
And
like
honestly, the most offensive thing about him is that he immediately tries to sell me essential oils. Which pissed me off now in the year of our Lord 2022 a lot more than like some slightly misplaced homophobia. And also like, as somebody who, may enjoy some Japanese media now and again, I think it is definitely important to consider like gay culture and drag culture is really, especially drag culture, is so different over there. And so sometimes, like, the big example of, like, One Piece, there's some characters in there that we as a Western audience look at and go, highly
offensive.
That character's based off a real person who okayed it, Like...
Wait, really?
Yeah, the Ivankanov is based off of a Japanese drag queen who is actually friends with the author, like, personally. So it's like, yeah, so it's kind of like, it's so different over there.
I
think it's kind of like, on the other hand, though, like, I could have done without some of those bits, because there was no joke. There's no funny.
Yeah, no, every interaction with, I thought their name was Clarice Armstrong, but I remember that's their poet name. Because they write poetry, of course. Armstrong, you know what? Could have been a lot fucking worse.
It could have been a lot so much worse.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
I do have here from the localizer.
I do want to hear this.
The defense.
This is Janet Shu. She is one of the main people who has localized the series past Game 1. So from Game 2 onward, she's always been a huge impact and one of the leads on localizing the series. So I put a lot of stock in her opinion, and she has done a lot of interviews and a lot of blog posting about the work that's gone into these games and how to localize them. And this is a blog post from the Capcom community blogs from 2014. So put that context on it. 2014 already. So we're 8 years ago. And then this is also talking about a game that was made 10 years ago from that point as well. So, Phoenix Wright is a series now that's 20 years old. So she writes that she did want to clear up some of the misconceptions and localization issues surrounding his gender and sexuality, and goes into some of the details about the differences between Japanese concepts of gender and sexuality and how they don't map one-to-one onto Western ideas, and says in the Japanese version, Jean is a typical Okama character. At the time, the word Okama was generally used as a catch-all for a feminine-acting man, and has been the go-to word since the Edo period. While that usually implied that the man in question was gay, the word was also used for any biologically male person who did drag, or spoke like a woman, regardless of their gender or sexuality, even trans women. Nowadays, similar to the way that the word queer is used in the West, but not entirely the same, okama is considered derogatory and discriminatory, though some people will still call themselves okama occasionally. Since adopting the English word gay, it has actually become more culturally acceptable to refer to actual gay men as gay, or the more formal word, doseisha, literally a person who loves the same sex. So, given all this, she continues, what that meant for the localized version was that I had to take a very vague and different concept of gay and localize it in a way that would be understandable to Western audiences. Using all the info that we get about Jean in the game, the answer I came up with was that he is a gay, cis man who enjoys performing non-passing drag.
I thought you were going to say, it ended up being, I needed to make it westernized, so gay meant French.
No.
The French.
So,
the French.
The French. So, to put it in a more concrete way, Jean's drag persona, which I have dubbed the campy French maiden Jean, is all we see during the investigation segments, but in court, he still identifies himself as a man to the judge when asked what gender he is. Unfortunately, back in 2007, the general public's understanding of gender and sexuality was not as informed or as nuanced as it is today, so I think Jean still caused a lot of confusion in the English version, but I hope this has cleared it up somewhat. So in terms of how characters reference Jean, I admit it would have been better if they used female pronouns out of respect for his drag persona once they realized it was a persona, but in addition to the fact that I can't add any extra text boxes to the game, I felt it would have been too controversial and hard to explain in-game back then. Furthermore, because he and his persona are not given separate names, it becomes very confusing very quickly as to when the characters are talking about the campy French maiden, Jean, and when they're talking about the man/legal witness, Mr. Jean Armstrong. That said, I feel society is making progress to the point where things like calling people by their preferred gender pronoun is slowly becoming the socially correct thing to do, so I hope that someday I won't need to provide an explanation in-game. So I thought that was a fairly reasonable and even-handed take on things that takes into context both the literal production of the game and also, just how society was, how accepting society was of things like this, both at the time the game was localized and when it was originally made. So we're operating through 3 or 4 layers here, between the original game being Japanese and then being localized, and then the time at which it was localized and the people who had to localize it, And all that said, I feel like her take on it is, like I said, I think is fairly measured here. But yeah, it's one of those things where I wish we could have gotten it, handled a little better. But I think this helps at least a little bit provide some more context for everything.
That makes a lot of sense to me, and definitely was sort of the vibe I was getting. Earlier I mentioned Japanese drag culture, which I don't know a ton about. I know a little more about American drag culture, but I still sort of picked up the vibe immediately.
Right.
But I don't it wasn't great, but it didn't feel it just felt kind of stupid rather than harmful,
Right.
Just kind of oh, this joke isn't funny. Let's move on,
And here's the fun part. I also went and researched some of Takumi's original blogs about this case to see if he gave any additional context for what he was thinking when he was coming up with some of the NPCs for this case. And there was nothing that I could find. So if anybody is listening and happens to find some stuff, I'd be very curious to see what Takumi says about it in his own words. But I could not in this. He talks about the bento box in his whole blog post.
Really, that's what he talks about.
You know
it's
what?
all about the bento box. I mean,
actually, thank God.
Here's okay. I don't know. Let me get around the table here first before I go into the Takumi corner.
I didn't even actually talk about the case. We just
right.
Like I said, I wanted to get it out of the way, rip off the Band-Aid, because that's how we ended the last episode.
Right.
To say, well, that was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be, huh?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I, again, didn't really appreciate that he immediately started giving me essential oils, though. Like, oh boy, like that pissed me off so much more than anything else. I was like, you did this. You're the murderer. Not joining your MLM.
Mlem.
The mlem. You know, there was some fun parts of this case. I struggled with the Victor Kudo segment and everything around that because, as we've discussed a little previously, I'm dyslexic. And so...
Me too!
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't say that I'm dyslexic, but I have a very, very difficult time getting my left and right figured out.
Yeah. I struggle with that. I struggle with a couple other, learning disability-based things, which have not been an issue, but the left-right thing has been an issue in this game, and this entire segment is like, oh, he drank out of the cup, and the mark of the cup meant that he was holding it in his right hand, and his left hand, or his visor was on the... So it wasn't, like, right up until the end where, like, they're like, oh, he wears a visor on his left eye, like, in the description, that I was like, okay, like, or his right eye, or whatever. So
I know, it's like,
time.
you're looking at a picture of him, and it's on his left eye, but when you're looking at it, it's on the right side, because it's a picture, but you have to remember it's flipped because it's a picture, and oh god.
This is the sound of me crying. So that whole segment was a wash for me. I had to... Also, I'm kind of... That old man had, like, one funny goof, and, like, his animation where he throws the seeds at you is pretty hilarious. But other than, like, that one bit where you get him to tell you information, I didn't care for him very much.
I guess we should talk about that. So, actually,
we should talk about the thing that I found more problematic than anything to do with Chef Armstrong.
Oh, well, I mean...
which is, this old man is creeping on my girl Maggie. Now he draws a line.
He does draw a line, thank God.
You put a waitress outfit on Maya, cute. Also another one of my favorite Maya bits, when you come into the restaurant, she runs up to you and she says Bone Avenue instead of Bienvenue.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh so hard.
Bone Avenue is the name of my new early 2000s pop punk band.
Yes. I'm joining. And so you figure out this old man likes waitresses, so you take Maya, dressed in the waitress outfit, to question him, and he looks at Maya and he goes, no. What are you, a child? Go play on the slide. Fuck off. Which... I guess is better than nothing. And then you turn around, and Maya has summoned Mia, big titties and all, and he immediately tells you all the information you need to know. And that was one, again, vaguely, like, I can't pinpoint what's wrong exactly, feels a little problematic. But also, like, I did laugh. I did think it was funny. And at the end, Mia's I can't fucking believe she did this to me, and takes off. And she doesn't help you at all through the rest of the case.
I mean, she did the most important job possible.
It was very funny. But yeah, I got sick of the old man segment. I did much better on the last day of the case. I was on a roll. I was doing fine. But I really struggled in the first half because of the right-left thing.
I did too, so I just shut my brain off and let Ben do it.
I respect it, my friend.
So when it came to Victor Kudo, the most controversial man in this case so far, and that actually says fucking something, I was like, you know what? He's got taste.
Wow.
I mean, again, it's better than nothing.
He's got taste.
Savisu.
As my grandfather would say, that's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, which is
Jesus.
one of my favorite stupid things that my grandpa says.
It's a very low bar.
So
It's really relatable.
So I'm gonna pivot. Let's
Okay,
get on Victor.
Take us away.
So Victor Kudo, a lot of his thing is basically disproving his not disproving his testimony, but getting him to be an unreliable witness. And it turns out he is an unreliable witness due to a circumstance that is revealed in the second day, but that's day 2.
But technically, his memory of things is correct.
It is correct. Yes, he
Yes.
does witness a person put a powder into a drink, serve it to a man, and that man does cough and lean over.
Yeah.
That is a series of events that he saw.
And his left
And he
hand,
gets
and
started-
his right hand, and his cup, and
Yada yada.
And Victor breaks the vase.
Victor breaks the vase.
we
now,
have to call him by his full name.
He gets
Victor
3
Kudo.
copies. You get 3
no,
copies.
no, we have to call him his name, Rose. You know what it is.
For listeners,
I was gonna say this is gonna be a bizarre
yeah, this
conversation
is a
for the
friend
listeners.
group. This is a friend group issue. But so I play this little game called Dungeons and Dragons, and that's my character's name, and I'll show myself out.
Well, we all play Dungeons and Dragons. That's the secret,
I
Captain.
was throwing myself on that grenade for you guys. Actually, no, I heard that's cool now.
We
No,
all
the
play
grenade.
D&D
The grenade's
game that
not
is like-
live anymore. It's like that scene from Captain America. It's not a live grenade. It just means
Yeah.
you're going to become the next Captain America, Rose.
It was just a
Oh.
test.
It was just a test. Congratulations, you're the new captain.
I
So-
don't want this.
So, a lot of it's like, oh, Victor didn't see Mr. Kudo didn't
Mhm.
see the waitress's face because he only saw her from behind. I'm glad they didn't make a joke about him staring at her ass because that's definitely what he was doing. But I have to be because we've got to question this, right? Does he have a waitress outfit fetish? It's not even about the person in the outfit; it's just about the outfit, which is
I think so.
specific. Because he didn't be like, yeah, she had a fine ass. He said the straps on her waitress thing, and I was like, wait, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I think he does straight up say when you talk to him the first time, he just likes the outfit.
Now, I like to think that this is because he is a working man, and therefore he has a fetish towards people in a working industry. Because he's a proletarian.
You are
He's like-
sugarcoating this is so heavy-handed.
No, this is all bullshit. He's kind of weird.
I mean, they're not even he gets really mad about how sexy the outfits are. They're not
That's the joke, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
not revealing at all.
But,
They're really basic, maid waitress looking
I kept-
outfits.
I
And
kept looking
he's like,
to-
so salacious.
I kept looking to be like, is it a crop top? It can't be a crop top that they're
It's
wearing. And it's not. It's not. It's just an apron.
And then
It is. The game does indulge though a little bit. It is kind of funny because it does take every excuse to put each female character in the outfit. We go out of our way to see Maya in it. And Mia and Maggie. Everybody gets to wear it so that you.
Oh my
Holy
god, is that
shit.
literally
There's
all
new
the ladies
sprites.
in this case?
And well, here's the thing. Even the creepy girl then is
Jesus
wears it,
fuck.
but you only see it in a flashback.
it just
That's,
occurred to
that's
me.
There's
the
no
only.
sprite.
That's the only one I would be interested in seeing in the waitress outfit.
No, there is one more person, and let me blow your mind, Rose. This game was supposed to take place during Game 2, which had Franziska von Karma as our prosecutor.
You know,
In it-
mm,
In an alternate timeline,
I actually don't know if I want that.
that's fair.
I'll think about it.
No further questions, Your
I'll
Honor.
put it on my desk. I'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days.
Okay.
Please, I need that in an hour. Actually, the case is soon. So
It's Sunday. That'll be overtime. Oh shit! I'm dating our podcast.
oh, you did it. So the first day is whatever. We disproved Victor Kudo. Something's funny going on with his sequence of events. The testimonies between Victor Kudo, between Maggie, between those are the only two people we've talked to so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move to day 2. I'm gonna let
And so, yeah, then after we are able to prolong the trial to day 2, you start to get a little more info. One, we get to interact with Gumshoe a bit more and ask him to look into some of the evidence. We also start to get hints that there's something wrong at the police station. That everybody's freaking out, and there's something wrong with the computers. So you're like, oh, what could be going on here? You go to Glenn's job. The computer, they do a joke where like it's very vague what he actually does there at this company, but it's essentially just like inventory and analyst computer software that they make for folks.
That's me. I do that now.
Yeah,
I'm in there now.
And
I have a hot boss now. That boss was hot.
and we also get more in depth on Glenn's gambling problem that he has.
That's also me.
He's been betting on horse races and buying lottery tickets. And a lottery ticket is actually fairly critical to this case. We didn't bring it up yet, but Glenn supposedly won $500,000 off of a lottery ticket and then immediately died right after hearing it on the radio. So again, that is coming into the fore now for the second day. Lastly, then you get to go to the tender lender, the loan shark office of Furio Tigre, and also now I'm blanking on the woman with him, Viola.
Viola Cadaverini.
Cadaverini, yeah.
Who is seen in an earlier scene extorting from Jean Armstrong.
Right, yeah.
She's a psycho. She's she's mean and lean and
lean is a good word.
They play her up to be like this, like, oh my god, dude, she's so sick in the head, she'll cut you up, and it's like,
but then she's not.
buddy, a stiff breeze would solve my problem.
Oh yeah, I just kick her in the back of the knee once, she's done.
Yeah.
She shatters like porcelain. Like,
and I cannot stress this enough. I do love that in a character.
That's true.
Looks like a Soul Eater character.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It did come up, yeah.
Des coming at me with a knife.
So basically, Jean owes money to the tender lender company, to Furio Tigre. And so Tigre and Viola have this, little business that they've been working on. But part of all this, as it starts to unravel, is that Viola's father is Bruto Cadaverini, who is one of the most powerful and dangerous crime lords, in the city. Gumshoe tells this to you in hushed tones, like, even the cops can't take him down, just to, raise the stakes here. And we find out, as we start to break things down finally, get all the evidence through the investigation phase and get into the courtroom, that the real thrust of the case is Furio Tigre crashed his pink moped into Viola's car, causing a huge $1 million hospital operation to save her life. He, of course, finds out that she is Cadaverini's granddaughter and is like, oh, well, shit, okay, I have to pay for this or else I'm dead meat. So he, used his loan shark business to, raise a whole bunch of money and take care of this super expensive operation. And, guess what? Bills were coming due. And so he was hustling down everybody who owed him money, which included Glenn. And, hey, when he found out that Glenn had written this really, really cool computer virus called,
MC Bomber.
MC Bomber, yes, thank you. The MC Bomber virus, which was supposedly also worth millions, then, things happened as you saw then. And he killed him in the restaurant and then set up a second fake murder after the fact to create the witness that was Victor Kudo. So this was quite elaborate, all things considered. And Phoenix also says, well, it'd be really strange for you to leave this many loose ends here. And that is why Tigray also then posed as Phoenix and defended Maggie to basically ensure that she got a terrible defense and that everything went the correct way. Then you do something pretty wild at the end of this case to trick Tigray into admitting that he was behind all this. You straight up lie in court.
It was a bluff, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was simply goofing.
How did y'all feel about this? I feel like this is a really...
Dark age of the law.
Yeah, I know, Dark Age of the Law, but it feels like a really wild thing that the game just all of a sudden, you get one bit of dialogue where Phoenix is like, with all these phonies in this case, maybe it's time for some phony evidence, and you're like, what, Phoenix?
I was so bamboozled. I was like, serious. Like, obviously, I knew what he wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we shouldn't be doing this, Nick. What are we doing?
This feels like a little bit of a mistake. This might come back to bite us. But yeah, you get the what is a bottle of Glenn's medication, and it has Furio Tigray's fingerprints on it, and instead you claim that it is not his medication, but it is the poison. And Tigray goes, no, that's not the poison. Of course that's not the poison. The poison bottle looks like a little brown bottle, not that little green thing. And that is what gets him, of course, because he would have not had the chance to see the bottle during this court session unless, he had actually held it himself and done the poisoning. And so that's what finally catches him. But yeah, you straight up lie, and nobody seems to call you out on it. There's no hemming or hawing about it. You get one bit of dialogue, and then you're at the selection screen for choosing your lie.
So here's the thing that fucks me up the most about this, and it's simply like a logic thing. I don't care that Phoenix Wright lies. We all lie in court, apparently. Every fucking person does it. Literally every witness so far has lied in court and then got a slap on the wrist and got to go home.
Not Maya.
She doesn't know it yet, but she lied. The thing that fucks me up, she probably lied at one point. Who cares?
Did I miss something? She
probably lied at one point. That's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing that fucks me up. It's simply a thought about this. Furio Tigray was the Phoenix Wright impersonator who handled the first trial and got Maggie, essentially his own client, straight to jail, right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't he have seen the poison bottle in that case? That, in the December 3rd case, the one that happens a month before Phoenix Wright takes over, the real Phoenix Wright, Furio Tigray impersonates Phoenix Wright. And in his impersonation, gets Maggie, basically fucks up the whole defense on purpose to get her fucking guilty.
Right.
Wouldn't he have seen the poison in that trial?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing that fucks me up the most, is that, we all admitted to the fact that he fucking, even Goto's just because he's the impersonator doesn't mean he did the murder. And part of me's
why else?
Exactly. This.
Well, maybe he didn't see it because they said when he was killed the first time, the real Ned was killed the first time, or whatever his name is.
Glenn.
Glenn. He had the medicine in his pocket, and it fell out after he was killed and taken back to the kitchen.
No, but the thing is though, is that he would have seen the brown bottle, the real poison bottle, in the first case, when he took over. Furio Tigray had a situation where it was totally
because it was found in Maggie's apron.
Yeah, he would have seen the brown bottle in Maggie's apron because that was one of the de facto reasons that Maggie was arrested.
Right.
So it's a lot
this case end is unsatisfying as hell.
I love this case because there are so many moving parts. Because like there's so many different like motivations between every character. Even Armstrong is complex, and that actually says something. Considering that I thought he was just gonna be a stereotype.
He's actually kind of an interesting character.
Yeah, he becomes an unwilling accomplice because of his debt to Tender Lender, and like is also a kleptomaniac. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
Also a kleptomaniac, yeah.
He stole he's a pickpocket who stole my Magatama?
And a Young Living rep, which is terrible. Now, you could say it's doTERRA, but we all know it's Young Living.
So, like, I don't mind that there was a gotcha scenario, but, like, I feel like the gotcha scenario, like this one, wasn't done as well as it done in
the previous case.
Luke Atmey's situation. Because Luke Atmey's situation, they displayed information that he was straight up not privy to. That makes sense. Furio would have absolutely seen the brown bottle in his what is essentially the phony trial.
Right.
So like we get him on this weird technicality. It's the fact that the judge and Godo are like, wow, Phoenix, he got him. And I was like, did I? That's all it took? What?
It was not good. I didn't like the end.
It was very abrupt.
It was nice to give Maggie the lunchbox, which, whatever. But,
yeah.
Yeah, there's the subplot between Gumshoe and the Wieners and the...
Yeah.
And so like, Gumshoe loves Maggie. I don't blame him. Maggie's cute. But, like, Gumshoe also testified against Maggie and gave, for the first time in his life, an ironclad testimony. Which was the most fucked up thing he could have done, apparently.
Purely by accident.
Purely by accident.
He was trying not to, and he did anyway.
So, like, Maggie hates him, and then he, like, gives you a bento box, and like, give this to Maggie, and Maggie goes, I hate this. And then Phoenix Wright and fucking Maya eat it sadly in the detention center in front of Maggie.
Yeah.
That was so fucking sad. She's just like, Maya, you should eat these. And Maya's like, yeah, I will actually.
And then Maggie's like, was it good afterwards? Like, what the fuck, Maggie? You could have eaten it.
Because she wants it, but she's mad at Gumshoe because he is moderately incompetent. On the other hand, he is my hero, and he once again saved me from gangsters.
Oh yeah, when he came in with the evidence of the bottle with the fingerprints, that shot of him holding the bag up is
so
legitimately the cutest thing.
Also, when Tigre grabs you in the restaurant,
right,
and tries to steal evidence from you, like a certain somebody did in Game 1, Gumshoe runs in and grabs you and fights him off so that you and Maya can run away. Like,
yeah,
with the medical papers, yeah.
While that stock tiger noise is playing in the background, which
that's a very good noise.
Was very good. Also, the gag where people keep hiding under their desks.
It was really fucking good.
Just pans back up.
You get the rare judge's seat.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not supposed to see that.
You pan over to Maya, and it's just her text box in front of the empty background.
Yeah, it was really good. It's a good bit.
When Phoenix objects and he's still under the table. It's so funny. I just wish the case had been better.
This case brought in interesting characters and literally the entire plot of this case is like relatively like a lot of moving parts, and it was super solid. It's just that I feel like on the ending it was like they were kind of desperate for like a gotcha ending, and that's what they came up with. There's only like one way that would have made sense, and that's if the poison was found in the second trial, not the first. But like if that was the case, then Maggie wouldn't have been arrested on site. So it's like all these things, and like Tigre as a killer is interesting because even the way he kills wasn't even his normal violent. He chose poison. Like
his plan was a Rube Goldberg machine. Honestly,
like, he came up with the slickest plan so fast.
He just carries potassium cyanide around, like, on them, just in case.
Also, Viola being like, yeah, I'll pose as the waitress who put something in a cup so that Victor Kudo could see it. Just, available. Like, I also love Viola's motivations.
Yeah, she's in love with him.
She thought that the reason that he paid for the operation was because they were destined to be together. But the truth is that he doesn't want to be killed by the Mafia. Which, like, fair.
I wouldn't want to be killed by the Mafia either.
But I wouldn't want to be killed with the Mafia and have a cool assassin girlfriend. That's so mean. He did call her dumber than an eggplant.
Yeah, he fucked it up. He had a goth GF and he squandered it.
He fucking did.
I just cannot convey how disappointing that was of him.
I think it would have been more interesting to have Viola turn on him at the end of the case, like being like, I'm a witness to these events and I confess. Right. But instead we have to have this like weird gotcha moment where Phoenix Wright lies in court and no one else has the brain power to process this. I have to assume that what it was is that, like, we all saw him lie in court and Godot and the judge were, like, too dumbfounded to realize how there was, like, a hole in the logic. Because, like, Godot, my guy, super cool behind those coffee cups. He knows he's a real slick machine, alright?
I'm actually
Did you like it when the lights went off and you got to see his visor?
Yeah, I'm beginning to suspect he might be a dumbass, but... Oh my god, okay, the one bit, I forgot about this, where you show him Gumshoe shows the apron that the ketchup is spilled on, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything. I see a coffee stain on this apron, because his visor's fucking red.
Yeah, that's so fucking good.
Everything's red, so he can't tell.
I have to imagine that inside of his actual vision's like a virtual boy.
I was like, the whole time they said that, I was like, how is he seeing Ellen the tiger? He's all red too. It's just like, there's nobody even here who's speaking.
High contrast. I can only see the hair and the tiger stripes on the shirt.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like Furio Tigre, is because he's just like the silhouette of Wright, and he goes, that son of a bitch. I'll kill him.
The one part where he just like shows up in the coffee shop and is like, bleh, and then leaves. And I'm like, do you have anything better to do than follow me around, sir?
Yeah.
What is your damage?
I love the fact that the person who took place in the phony trial was Winston Payne, and the reason that is because Godot realized that it wasn't Phoenix Wright and goes, yeah, I'm not gonna fight him. Who gives a shit?
And he walks up and he goes, that's not him, I'm leaving.
And then Phoenix Wright, but why couldn't you tell the judge though? Why didn't you tell the judge?
Yeah.
I love the idea of an imposter Phoenix. I like so many things about this case are amazing to me.
A little cardboard badge. Yeah, that's the thing is like I loved a lot about this case. I just didn't actually like the case, like
I liked on like literally every single character in this case was interesting. Even Armstrong, who actually had a character. That's the most impressive part. And like just so many flips and flops and through the air about this case, and it couldn't stick the landing for me. I was taking a shower this morning, and as I applied the shampoo to my hair, I thought to myself, like, wait a second, wouldn't he have seen the poison?
I'm so glad you're here, Tiago, because I probably would have had like a similar experience like tonight or like tomorrow as I was washing my hair. Just like, hey, wait a second. Doing something else.
Would he have seen the poison?
Yeah, absolutely, my friend.
Every single piece of evidence was crucial. I love the psych locks on Viola's character is amazing, and like,
yeah,
I can imagine myself if this was 2004, I would definitely see some sick like sad ship art of Viola and Furio Tigre.
Yeah, where is it, everybody?
Like, honestly,
I bet it exists.
Honestly, actually. I swear to God, there should be like 6. We gotta get a Phoenix Wright scene. I gotta buy a scene, everybody.
Is.
Wait, where is it?
There's so many.
There's plenty. In fact, there's actually one that I'm paying attention to right now that I was thinking about.
Yo, let me submit. What the fuck?
I was thinking about pre-ordering it. So.
Is it? Fuck, it's done, guys. We should.
Yeah, no, it's already done. Yeah.
People still love Phoenix Wright. That people are still making scenes. You'll be okay, Tiago.
Because the thing is I haven't linked a lot of them because most of them are either for all the games, or they are for games that you guys have not played
Yeah,
yet.
no
That's
So
spoilers.
it's
That's
tough
fair.
to share without spoilers.
We have
Yeah.
to maintain our perfect, spotless, no knowledge minds.
Yeah, where am I going to see my bad slash fic of Viola and Furio?
Once we beat
Yeah.
all the games, I guess.
Oh,
you can start looking for that now, I guess, if you want, because it's not like
no.
they show up again. They're one-off NPCs.
I'm
Fair
afraid
enough.
that if I look it
But-
up, though, I'll just find some other shit like, oh, by the way, Phoenix has a twin brother, and it is
Yeah.
Furio T.
I was, for personal reasons, Googling Franziska von Karma's outfit, and even though I carefully put in, like, a game, I saw something that I think is a sprite in the future, and immediately, like, slammed my phone closed and, like, ran away. So that I didn't even get a good look. I was like, oh my god, I can't do anything here.
Yeah, exactly. We
Yeah.
can't touch a goddamn thing.
I just wanted a reference.
Well, let's visit the Takumi corner here. quick.
Yeah, let's get in there.
It was
From Takumi's blog, when he was writing about this case, he mentions up at the top that the story of Gyakuten Saiban consists of several episodes. For 3, I added 1 episode to the usual number, so we have 5 now. Which episode is the most important, you may ask? To tell you the truth, in my mind, I have a ranking of importance to the episodes. It has been the same ever since the first game, and I will explain that ranking. Rank 1, Episode 1. This might be a bit of surprise, but I think the start is always the most important, not just with games. You need to have people fall in love with the game, or else it's all over. That's why I pay the most importance to the introduction. Rank 2, Episode 2. My idea here is the same. If Episode 1 is considered the prologue, then Episode 2 is the first real episode. I always use the ideas I am most confident about in the second episode. Also, it's partly because I think that people who stop halfway through the game will at least play the second episode. And then rank 3, the final episode. I don't think I need to explain this. Anyway, what I want to say here is Episode 3 is not really important. No, not that. Well, what I mean is, after writing the crucial first 2 episodes, I often write an episode that I can relax a bit with. Like Turnabout Samurai, Turnabout Big Top, and now Turnabout Recipe for a Turnabout. In general, Episode 3 is a story with the lightest touch. So I thought that was kind of funny. He's like, it's, Episode 3, not too big a deal.
I thought the last case had a lot lighter, less serious feel, if I'm honest.
yeah.
It has some really good moments though. So I do agree with that he is using his really good ideas in Episode 2.
God,
Go ahead.
I'm just like, but the thing about like, I actually find that like episodes, like the semi-final episodes of some of these games so far, to be more important than the second case, right? Like, Big Top Turnabout, despite it being probably one of the worst fucking cases we've ever been through, is like relevant to the plot of the final case, because like,
Is it?
because Maya is like in a fucking trapped apartment nearby the Big Top. They like revisit the Big Top as a set.
Well, yeah, that's almost like a cameo to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I definitely, I didn't feel a connection there.
I can't remember. I guess, alright, so if I were to try to remember the case 2 of the previous games, case 2 of the first game was we defended Maya from being accused of Mia's death. And then the case 2 of the second game is, I think literally the same thing. We defend Maya again.
It's the Maya case, and
So,
you
it's the case
that
where you
was
get
your
introduced to her
favorite one
village.
in the previous game
Yeah, that's
too.
fair,
the Crane
actually.
Village.
You know what, never mind. I guess he's right. We should fucking try focusing on the third case more often.
I mean, I liked this a lot better than Turnabout Big Top, and I
Yeah,
think
that's for sure.
I like a
liked
brick
it.
to the face more than Turnabout Big Top.
Boot to
I
the
do
face,
have
maybe.
I do have one other bit here. And again, I forgot to mention this is all translated as always by Gyakuten Saiban Library. And this bit here at the end, there is one irregularity to this episode that I will never forget. It happened as I was writing the dialogue for Larry Butts for the second episode, and I was thinking, I'm hungry. What shall I have for lunch? When my eyes fell upon a certain object. It was the bento box of the programmer, Kudo, who was sitting next to my desk. It was a gigantic bento box that had been divided precisely in the middle, and on one side there was rice, and on the other side it was filled with more weenies than I had ever seen before.
Jesus.
This rules, actually. What a king.
Takumi. What's that? That's just too crazy. Kudo. But it's really easy to prepare. Takumi. I can't even say which side is supposed to be the staple food here. Kudo says, no, but look, I have some tamagoyaki here. I hadn't noticed it in my excitement, but when I looked closely, I did see the little yellow figure of a cute little tamagoyaki tucked away in the corner. Anyway, I had never seen anything like that in my life. It was my encounter with Kudo Ben. Oh, don't worry. This isn't an abbreviation of Kudoi Bento, which is irritating bento. So I was not aware of this. I guess that's a whole term for like when people make weird fucked up bento boxes.
I've just found a new concept that I'm going to be obsessed with for weeks. I like weird, stupid food, everybody.
Yeah, so he says, Kudo Ben. This is my first encounter with Kudo Ben. It's not an abbreviation for Kudoi Bento. I meant Kudo's Bento, just so you understand me. This excitement, this emotion, this surprise, this was something that we couldn't just keep for ourselves in the development team. So I said, Kudo, make the same bento tomorrow again. Oh, okay. And lose the tamagoyaki. It's not beautiful. Kudo, ...
It's not beautiful.
It's
following
rice
day.
and cocktail Wheaties, my dude.
The following day, a photograph of the Kudo Ben was gently taken with a digital camera under the watchful eyes of all of us. The bento box that is filed away in the game as evidence is in fact an edited version of that photograph.
That's so good, actually. This
That's
is a beautiful story.
Incredible.
I'm glad I got to know this.
I just love that the programmer, just brings in this huge bento box split down the middle, exactly how it is in game.
What the fuck?
And Takumi found it so blindingly incredible that he was like, I gotta put this in game. It's the equivalent of making a misspelling in the group chat and all your friends roasting you, except Takumi took your dumbass bento box and put it in a game for all eternity.
I make you make it again so I could photograph it.
Right.
What the fuck, dog?
Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, that's the Takumi corner for this episode. I think overall this case, despite its issues, it still had a lot of fun individual moments, I think.
Oh yeah.
And individual moments adding up and individual character beats adding up can still mean a lot and help sway the opinion of it. I do like a lot of the stuff between Maggie and Gumshoe in particular. I like how much development we get for them. And this spawns a wonderful, beautiful friendship between the two of them from here on out. So I'm quite happy about that as well. Did anybody get the really bad meme jokes at Blue Screen Incorporated?
No.
Nobody found this one? Okay.
I don't get it. I don't know what a meme is.
If you talk to Basil at Blue Screen Incorporated and you present irrelevant evidence, the generic response, she says, I'm sorry, that data is super admin restricted desktop access password protected. Meyer then responds with super admin restricted desktop access password protected. What? This is madness. And Wright says, no, Maya, that is Sparda.
Okay.
Wait.
All right, I guess.
I literally don't get it.
The initials of the program that they're talking about spells out Sparta.
Okay.
And this is a reference to the old meme about 300.
God.
Go all the way back.
Madness. This is madness. Madness. This is Sparta. Yeah.
Go all the way back.
I would like to claim the life
really
of one
old
translator.
Bad jokes.
Jesus
2009.
Wait,
So yeah,
this game came out in 2009.
The launch. No, I gotta double check my notes here.
I guess you know what, that actually makes sense because that's when the DS came out. I was
2007.
So
was the DS was the DS launch.
How did I not process that? I literally
2007.
I submit every piece of evidence to an NPC whenever possible. So I ran through that line like 50 times, and I was just like,
didn't even think of it.
I didn't even think about it. I was just
blissfully unaware.
And now that
you know.
Hey, that sucks. Boo.
It sucks.
Boo.
It sucks to know terrible things.
I like Basil.
I found her bland.
Yeah, fair.
She doesn't show up for very long.
Yeah.
And she'll never show up again.
Nope.
You know who else hasn't shown up?
Actually, I do want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I think we got a little foreshadowing in this case. So, when you go to Tenderlander and you talk to Miss Viola, and you tell her the truth about her man and how he is just, basically he's betrayed her love for him so that he can get money to pay off her grandfather. He doesn't actually love her, and he's involved her in this poisoning plot. Phoenix says,
"Oh yes, okay.
This is unexcusable," and Maya seems a little shocked by him. And he has his little thought bubble, and he says, "There's two things I hate: poisonings and betrayal."
Wait, fuck.
She will return.
No, I mean, fuck, shit. All right, we got 2 cases left. All right.
$1 whole.
$1 whole is on the line, and I can't afford to leave.
That's a lot for the two of us.
Perhaps you can borrow some money from the tender lender for a larger bet.
Oh no.
You know what, Rose?
Yeah.
Would you like to raise the stakes?
No.
Oh, okay.
We just got a whole case about the dangers of gambling.
I was just gonna make it $2.
Whoa, double up.
Double or nothing.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't. That's excessive spending.
If you're so sure, it's not spending at all. It's all gain.
No, I actually, I'm not a big gambling person. I generally don't approve of it.
Fuck, I'm the gambler. How do I convince someone who doesn't like gambling how to gamble?
The gambling addiction runs in my family, and I am not a fan.
A gambling addiction runs through me.
Well, you should cut that out.
Nah.
If we ever go to a casino, I'm taking everyone's wallets, everyone's cards, and I'm just going to carry them around in my bag.
I mean, my plan then is simply just to not go with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'm not going to be responsible for what you do.
And then I'm going to get caught at Tenderlander, and then Furo Seeker is going to impersonate me in court.
I thought you were going to get murdered with cyanide, potassium cyanide. Which, again, wild that he just has that.
Yeah, he's just got some floating around,
Alright, so, clearly this is supposed to be a Yakuza thing, because, he's supposed to be, a businessman, and he's I have ties to the Yakuza. But they can't reference the Yakuza in American media, so it turned into the Mafia. And I love that the head of the family, Cadaverini, is just this, old
radical name.
First of all, radical name. Second of all, just this old Japanese man and be yep, that's Cadaverini. And I'm, looking at him and I'm just this is a Yakuza member. I kind of lost it, because I was just you couldn't even, say that it was the Yakuza. You had to go all the way to the Mafia and give, we had to...
You could have Italianed his sprite up a little bit, give him some pasta. I don't know.
I just love
give
that
him
we
a
had
little
to
mustache.
We just had to Italian code Viola. That was the solution, was simply make Viola Italian. And
mustache would have worked, I agree.
Little Mario hat, go wahoo.
So you owe me money, bitch.
So my overall feelings for this case are, I love all the moving parts and I love separate pieces of this. It's just the ending where it fell flat for me, and that was it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like the end,
Well,
and I didn't like left from right.
I would like it as a whole, but the ending was kind of very abrupt.
Yeah, I liked everything else.
Yeah, everything else is fucking sweet.
Unimportant but cool lore that the judge speaks Spanish.
Oh yeah, he would have gotten UL Rata Alada immediately. He would have said.
We watched the Batman the other night, listeners.
That's also a sick detective. Imagine Phoenix Wright has to defend Bruce Wayne from Batman, my new fanfic.
I'd read it.
If you really like the idea of mixing Phoenix Wright and Batman, I have a show to tell you about called The Big O.
Oh my fucking god! You know what? That's my fucking fault. I just walked into that one.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for us this week then, folks. Coming up next will be Turnabout Beginnings, which is the fourth case in the game here. And it's kind of a shorter one, actually. If I recall correctly, it is almost just a little bit more than a tutorial case. So we kind of get a small, fun little interlude here before we head into the final case, which is a doozy. But this sets up some stuff. There's some interesting stuff in this one. So I'm very excited to see what you guys think as you get into this one, because a bunch of things will start to click into place, I think, as soon as you play this one, where it's all plot from here on out.
I think it's worth saying, I guess, on my part, I got burnt out on Ace Attorney games back in high school around this point. So I stopped playing this game about halfway through the last case. So I know all the twists and stuff and the story and everything, but I haven't played it. So a lot of this stuff, while it's kind of quote unquote new to me, I still know how it ends and things like that. So I'd be interested. I guess I'm sort of interested to see how my opinion changes based on just knowing how it happens versus actually watching it happen.
Yeah. So yeah, should be fun. We'll try to keep streaming all those as well.
God, I hope the opening cutscene has Dahlia Hawthorne in it.
Oh, fuck, don't
I'm not betting $1 on that because I actually don't think that's what's gonna happen, but it would be funny if it did.
If the opening cutscene shows up Dahlia Hawthorne, I mean, I'm gonna have to Venmo Rose on podcast.
Yeah,
for posterity's sake.
Yeah, we'll do it on the podcast. The people will see.
The people will see me hand you $1 American.
Well, gentle listener, I hope you will stay tuned for this, because I think we'll have some fun times next episode. You can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod to stay up to date on the latest episodes, as well as the streams and YouTube VODs of Dessy and I playing through the game. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you?
At Yes on the awful Bluebird site. It's even worse now.
And Tiago?
I'm at Tiago S. Dutra. It's always been shitty here.
That's my secret cap. It's always been shit.
Tiago is right. Sad but true. Things can always be worse. You can find me at Trauma Arts. And you can find my personal Twitter at Rose Nonsense. You can also find me actively putting an egg in a different basket at rosenonsense.tumblr.com. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Nobody panic. Just consider your options. Be cool.
Right. I still have my fucking Tumblr. It's 13 years old or something like that.
Oh yeah, well listen, my mom knows my old Tumblr, so we're moving on.
Well, once they purge the not safe for work, I have nowhere to go.
Dude, fucking same, Captain.
Oh yeah, we're all staying on Twitter. We're staying.
This is the only safe place I can see a titty. I don't know.
And I did.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next episode, we will be playing the third case of Trials and Tribulations. Nope, not third case. The fourth case of Trials and Tribulations. 3-4, Turnabout Beginnings. We'll see you next time.
Happy May Day, Workers Unite!
Happy May Day, Workers Unite! Oh my god. Fuck it. I wasn't expecting the proletariat at the very end.
Yeah.
What else would you expect from me?
That's on me.
Alrighty.
It says International Workers' Day right here on time.is.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Also,
that's why I saw a meme about Deep Space Nine earlier today. That makes sense.
Also on a lighter note, Happy May Day. Summer is here.
Yeah.
Summer.